Religious sectarianism is crawling into British politics, and this election is its ugly debut. I think it's high time that politicians are honest with the public. Multiculturalism is failing, and we're seeing it after iPhone video after iPhone video. Time to call it out for what it is. Right, Benjamin, I mean, you must be upset to see this happening to Labour Party politicians.
Well, to anybody, yeah. I mean, I have to say, Naz Shah, who you just showed there, has been through this many times before. So she previously was up against George Galloway for that constituency, who is the pinnacle of abuse on these issues. But also, before her time in politics, she was put into a forced marriage and forcefully sent to Pakistan. And her mother famously killed her father because the family was a victim of horrific abuse. So, you know, she, in the videos, you see her sort of laughing at this guy because she's been through a lot worse than some idiot hounding her when she's door knocking. Of course, then everyone online says, are you laughing at the people of Gaza, which is, you know, such an ugly way to interpret it. I don't know if it's religious sectarianism, though, because many of the people, I mean, not the Sikh man first, but Naz Shah, for example, is a Muslim. So it's not really a religious issue, but it's that they've taken what I would consider slightly extreme view on the issue of Gaza. But I think we have a problem. Well, it's religious
in the sense of they're using Zionist as being interchangeable for Jew, essentially, right? They're calling out Jews and people associated with them, are they not?
I mean, they probably are, but those people were, I mean, many of them are Muslims that were involved, so I don't think, you know, obviously there wasn't anti-Semitic when it's aimed at a Muslim woman. But I think we have a problem with the way we think it's appropriate to speak to politicians. So tonight, Rosie Duffield, the Kent Labour candidate, she said that she won't do any hustings in the constituency because she fears abuse. And I think you're seeing lots of these examples, and there needs to be a reckoning that a democracy does not mean you can shout at people who put themselves forward for public office.
But do you not think that you have stoked up that sentiment? Because actually Rosie Duffield, were she to appear on this show and speak about her views around sex and gender, you'd be telling her she's a bigot.
Yeah, and that's my right, because that's a democratic act.
Well, you've just said we need to speak nicer to politicians.
Because that's quite different to shouting at someone in the street or at hustings. And she'd be entitled to say the same back if she might think it. But that's quite different to people that don't seem to know where the line is, who shout and abuse politicians.
You know the hypocrisy of all of this, particularly from the Labour group, and we've seen a lot of them online over the last few weeks. When Nigel Farage was hit with that milkshake and then consequentially with the coffee cup and the rock, whatever it was, he was laughed at by the left, but the likes of Owen Jones calling it art. They are encouraging this behaviour. So they're stoking the flames, inflammatory flames, that this is acceptable. It's acceptable to hound politicians at their home or on the street. It's acceptable to throw things at politicians you don't like. This is demeaning to our democracy.